Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Sha-Elemental. I'm here with my co-host, DOS, Death Over Simplicity.
Yes,
And
sir.
we're back here with another episode of Masters of the GamerVerse. And we have a special guest with us here today, Barbaric,
Yes,
the
sir.
foul-mouthed Jedi out of
Yeah,
Rochester, New
yeah.
York, I do believe it is, if I'm not
Yes, sir.
mistaken. Fellow
Hell yeah.
gamer, fellow hip hopper, rapper. So I'm just going to start off the episode basically what we usually do with like a guest. One thing me and DOS always like to kind of keep in mind is the hip hop aspect with the video games. So we always ask like for you because you're the guest, somebody who's into hip hop and all that. Like, what was your favorite moment of like the crossover of hip hop and video game? Like.
Uh,
Like, was it
I want.
what was that video game, DOS? The Wu-Tang one. It was horrible
Yeah,
but
Oh
great at
man,
the same
yeah,
time.
that was
the
perfect.
Shaolin style.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
was it
That
something
was
like
it.
that? Was the
Yeah,
Echo game? Like,
yeah. Shaolin style. Yep. Shaolin style. That was it.
okay,
That was the
okay.
perfect. That was the perfect. That was the perfect crossover. That shit was hard as shit for me, at least.
Yeah,
And I
no,
got
it's
to the
classic.
huh?
It's classic to me anyway. Like,
It is. Yo, and something I don't know why something at the time something told me to put it into a radio to see if the songs played, and that shit did it. That shit blew my mind. I still got it to this day.
yep. I
Yeah,
remember doing
that's
that with
dope.
Wipeout.
Yeah, that shit was like that shit was like that shit blew. Since I'm a huge Wu Tang fan, to see your favorite rap group have their own video game, that shit was crazy back then.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
And who's your
wow.
favorite character? Who was your
On
go-to?
there, on there my go to was RZA because of the sword.
Okay. Logical.
Yeah, yeah. I like the RZA because of the storage, but I was able to RZA, Jizza, and Ghost. I think Ghost I think he which one had the hammer? I forgot which one had the hammer. Method Man had the hammer.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think Meth had the hammer. So it was like RZA, Jizza, Ghost, and Meth. I liked using. But I never couldn't find out. I couldn't find out how to do the fatalities though. I never had any like cheat codes on how to get the damn fatalities, on how to do them.
Yeah, I was always bad at those too. It's those button combinations. That's his specialty though, because he's the Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat guy. So,
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
I'm a Mortal.
I'm back. I'm back playing MK1. I
Are you?
got yeah. Since we talked about it, so May 4th, there was a show in Southbridge, Massachusetts. Barbaric killed it. Sha killed it. We were talking about
Appreciate it.
MK, and my
Yes, sir.
favorite character dropped. I took a break from MK, but I got Ermac, and I'm training with him now.
Yo, I seen that. I was later earlier today. I was watching the last show, and I seen what you was talking about Ermac and stuff like that. And yo, they did Ermac. Well, in every Mortal Kombat game that got Ermac, they did him real good. This is my first time using him since Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. So
Dang.
like,
yeah.
yeah, because I never really cared for Ermac like that. But this time, yo, he is up for real.
Yeah.
Like
Nah, I was up
yo,
on him when 9 came out. He
yeah,
was dope. They had probably the best, I think, outfit for him. He was like wrapped in black bandages. It was dope.
yeah,
But
yeah,
10, they just upped his magic level and they brought it
yeah,
back this time. The only thing I can say is I kind of like the old style. So I don't like that they changed the shade of his like his energy. It's like
yeah.
more of a teal than a green, but
Right,
I'm
right.
loving his combos and how he's using his magic. It's dope.
Sick. Combo was sick, yo. I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, that shit, yo. I be watching cats online use him, and like the shit they be coming up with, I be like, damn.
Yeah, it's out of control. And I think
Yeah,
he should be powerful. He's like 1,000 warriors in one. You know what I mean?
right,
He don't get enough due.
right. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a lot of styles right there.
Word.
Yeah, for sure. That's one thing I wish they brought back from earlier Mortal Kombat is the different styles, but
Yeah.
that would work perfect with Air Mac.
Was that
Yeah.
Deception? I think had that.
Yeah, Deception had that.
Deception And it was a Deadly Alliance too, right?
Yep, Deadly Alliance. I want to say as well. I got one of those.
Deadly
over
Alliance. I think
Even
Deadly
no, even
Alliance
even
Deception.
11 had it where you could change. It wasn't complete
Right.
style change, but you had different specials. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
variations. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
True, true.
Johnny Cage had the
Yep.
brass knuckles that would just, it was just to
Yeah.
annoy people. It wasn't even like, it was like if you were mad at somebody, throw the brass knuckles
Yeah.
on, keep them in the corner.
Hell yeah.
I know. That's that classic. Bah, bah.
Yeah, but like
Right.
times
Just
10.
annoying.
Yeah.
Just like stop spamming that. They're like, but it works.
Right. Doing anything to win.
You do.
And yeah, before you get some more news, I want to know, what are we playing? It's been a minute since the last show. You see, I'm in sunny California right now. Some zombies. I've been playing Dead Island 2, and that game is mad fun. I love the first one, and I'm glad it's on Game Pass. So I'm in there. I'm playing as Jacob, which is he's kind of like the British Spider-Man from the Spider-Man Miles Morales movies. He's kind of like that British black dude, and he's talking mad shit, and just it's a lot of fun. It's mad gruesome, you know what I mean? For zombies on the floor, you could slice and dice, but it's
dope.
definitely worth playing.
Stomp them and whatnot.
Yeah, Sean, what are you playing?
Man. So I've been still playing Zelda. I actually, in Zelda, my recent mission, because it's like the game that just will not end ever, is I'm on the underground levels where you can't see anything. And I'm just going through and basically lighting up all the light routes, which show the map. Open up the map for you to be able to see on it. So I've been doing that just to open up the map, and then I've just been kind of taking off, gathering stuff as I'm doing that right now. And then I've been playing a little bit of Jedi Survivor.
I got that. I played the opening sequence. It's dope.
Yeah, that game's dope. And then what else? And basically finishing up God of War Ragnarok still. I'm like right at the end too, and I've been slacking. And I grabbed Diablo 4. I always wanted to give it a try, and it was like on sale for like $20 on PS5. So I was like, you know what? I'm like, let me give it a try. So I picked up Diablo 4. I've been playing that. I put in about like 10 hours into that so far. It's pretty cool. It's a little different than what I'm used to. Asymmetric role-playing game. It's kind of weird how like I got to get used to the fact that it's kind of bringing me back to like old school computer games for me, where like they don't like really like hold your hand as far as like, are you able to even face this challenge at this point? They'll let you try and just keep beating you over and over and over and over again, forever.
Yeah.
Which after playing modern games for a while, it takes you a minute to realize like, oh wait, I'm stupid. I need to go back and like,
I need to level up a little bit. Yeah.
Power up and level up so I can even do this. Like, what am I thinking? So I probably wasted like 2 hours just facing one boss doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's something you don't notice. Like Dead Island is a little bit like that, where there'll be a level, 15 zombie, and you could try, you know what I mean? You could try to beat the tank, and like, I don't know, I have a thing about trying. Like, I gotta try. I don't care if it takes me a half hour just to kill one zombie. Like, I'm taking them out.
Because that's type it'll annoy you because you couldn't beat them, and you like, nah, I gotta get past this shit.
I'm in there. I'm finding grenades. I'm throwing all my weapons. I'm getting them.
But sometimes you can chip away at them and just keep a safe distance, and it might take forever. But but
it works.
Yeah,
I get locked in like that. But yeah, Barbaric, what are you playing right now?
As of right now, I stepped away from 2K a long time ago, and due to their fuckery with they trying to get you to buy all the bullshit. So now I'm on Mortal Kombat 1. I've been on that for like the last couple months now. So I started out with 2K, but when Mortal Kombat came out, it was all there. It was all Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
So
who's your main character?
Scorpion. I'm a Scorpion main.
Word.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I hate how they nickel it. Like, all these games with these microtransactions are out of control. Like the sports games, like you said. I play all the sports games. I play them, but I like playing just the franchise mode and like against other people face to face. Like, I don't really play online that often. My go-to is usually NHL. That's also probably the game I play the most actually out of everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like playing a season of that, and then like I'm playing 2K against like my stepson or like other people. But yeah, man, it's so annoying because it's like you want to get into like that aspect of the game with like the ultimate team and like Madden and all that stuff, but then like you realize like you're gonna have to spend so much money, or you're gonna have to play the game like all day, every day, and slowly, very slowly, possibly gather up some stuff. But it's gonna take so long; it makes it unbearable.
Right, and then it takes so long. They're like, "Well, you got this option to buy it, so you can get to what you need to get to quicker." I'm like, "Fuck that shit." I got tired of that shit this year, and I was done with it. I was like, "Nah, I'm turned off from it right now." So once Mortal Kombat do the same thing with the DLC and
and the skins,
and stuff like that. But like that Shao Kahn skin that came out for General Shao was dope.
But at
So
least
I
with
had to
them, if
get
you're
it.
patient, they'll have an ultimate edition. That's usually what I do with those.
Right,
Especially Mortal Kombat, I usually just wait for the ultimate edition and then get
right.
that.
yeah,
But if you pay for the premium edition, you should be able to get all that free. You know what
I
I'm
agree.
saying? Like that shit is crazy. Like that shit is crazy. The microtransaction game has taken over video games, and it's in all video games now. Even I mean, check out Grand Theft Auto. Know what I'm saying? It's
yeah. If it wasn't for microtransactions and people paying,
that yeah,
we would have.
that's
I
how
think we
the
could have got 6 a lot sooner.
right, and that's how 5 lasted so damn long. Know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. And that's why Red Dead 2 didn't get Red Dead 2 online didn't get much attention from them after launch, which sucks because that would have been I honestly would have rather played that online than played Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, yeah. I haven't played Red Dead before. My cousin was into Red Dead Redemption, and he loved it. He loved it.
So good. If you like westerns anyway, not
Yo,
everyone.
I'll say this.
I-
Even if you don't like westerns, because I'm not a western fan at all. I don't like the movies. The time period makes me feel funny as far as the history in this country.
I mean,
And I love Red Dead. It's amazing. So if you just like a good story, like play Red Dead.
yeah. Great gameplay
But
too.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's
the
fine.
microtransactions is that shit is crazy. That shit is
Yeah.
crazy.
And
Yeah,
it's like
they
you said,
drip
it's
feed
everywhere.
everything, and it sucks that you have to wait. Shy is right with the fighting games. At least there's gonna be an ultimate edition, so you can wait. But then if you play online, you're gonna get smoked because everybody's been training and playing,
Right.
Yeah.
with all these characters.
I know soon I'm gonna be copping WWE 2K24. I'm a huge wrestling fan also. So and I love the WWE game.
They're fun. I actually I got the AEW game for Xbox.
Yeah.
That game's actually fun if you like the N64 wrestling games from back in the day.
Really?
Like No
Yeah,
Mercy.
the controls are like that. Like the controls
Oh,
work
wow.
kind of like that did. The matches are a lot shorter than because the WWE 2K series is like more simulation. This is a little
Yeah.
bit more arcadey. So the matches
Okay.
are like anywhere from like say 5 to 10, maybe max 15 minutes if you really want to cheese it.
Right.
So it's like really fast paced, and they keep adding characters to it. At first, I was like, I was like, this. It was kind of bare bones, but all they've been doing is adding more wrestlers to it, adding more arenas and stuff like that. The only place I'd say it really still lacks is the creative wrestler stuff. But if you like the AEW roster and just want to have a fun wrestling game, it's actually good. If you look online, it gets horrible reviews and stuff. But for the people who stuck with it and actually kept with it, there is something there at its base, and it's usually you can get it pretty cheap too. So it's been out for a while. They just put out season 4 of it, I think, too. So they just keep adding to it. I think
Oh,
they
that's
treat it
dope.
more like a live service, like we kind of don't like.
Yeah.
But in this case, I'm kind of okay with it because I'd rather get like for a game like this, rather than get like WWE does, have a game come out every single year. I wouldn't mind if they had one come out every 2 to 3 years. Have a new
Right.
engine, update the engine, and then every
Right.
year update the roster, and
Right.
then charge like $20 for the updated roster. I'll pay it the second year rather than a whole new game. But
that's what I think they should do. They should do that with 2K and Madden.
Yeah, but it'll never happen because everybody buys them. Like they have
Right.
those 21 people who are going to buy it no matter what.
Yeah, speaking of, you know, that and Mortal Kombat, like there was a pushback a little bit on the seasonal fatalities. So they had one for Thanksgiving and for Halloween. They had one for Christmas too, but by the time Christmas came out, it was like people pushed back enough online that they're like, all right, we're giving it for free, you know. And one of my boys bought one, and I was like, damn, why'd you buy that? And then it came out for free like a week later. Like,
right.
Shouldn't have gave these people any more money.
And I didn't even buy. I wasn't even like that shit. They was whack to me though. The seasonal fatalities, I ain't like them. I didn't care for them.
The Thanksgiving one was rough to watch. That was disgusting. That was horrible.
The Christmas one.
I mean, it's creative. Like we never seen nothing like that before. You know, for like seasonal fatalities and shit like that. That was creative. I'll give them that, but I wasn't buying them shit.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, they wouldn't get any money out of me for that one for sure.
Yeah, but that just shows, you know, people could push back, but it's tough when it's like a huge game like Madden. You know, that's impossible.
Yeah, it's a juggernaut. It's like they can't even get competition. They got that lockdown so hard.
Word.
Yeah, all right, let's get into some freaking news. So I'm sure you guys are aware that the what happened, and I'll break it down for anybody who isn't aware. Basically, Microsoft has closed 4 studios, specifically Arcane Austin. Arcane is the studio who did Redfall, also did the Dishonored series before that, and some other games as well. Really, their only bad game, in most people's opinion, is Redfall itself. Other than that, they have a really good track record. People love Dishonored 1 and 2. The stuff they did before that is held in high regard. And then Tango Gameworks, the one studio Microsoft had in Japan who developed Hi-Fi Rush, which was a big success for Microsoft in their own words. And they were saying how they needed to come up with more games like that because it wasn't a big AAA game. It was more of like a AA game, where like it wasn't as big of a budget, but it did well. I guess the only thing holding it back really would, in my opinion, would be Game Pass as far as like, you know, money wise, because I would figure they'd probably selling the game, you know, at whatever, even if it was as low as $40, probably they'd make more money doing that than just putting it on a subscription service that they only make so much from. But regardless of that, the game just got announced for PS5, I believe it was, and it should be coming to Switch as well at some point. So it's kind of crazy that they would close that studio after just a few weeks ago making comments talking about how happy they were with the performance of that game and all of that. And then on top of that, the other 2 studios, one of which I guess is being folded into another one. So the studio's closing, but the people, for the most part, I guess, are keeping their jobs, which is good. So that's pretty crazy and just speaks to how, like, perilous it is to be a developer at this point. I can't imagine being in this industry and really feeling safe with your job, knowing that, like, things like that could happen where, like, you could put out a great game, people could love it, and you could still get fired, you know, a month after the game comes out because it didn't sell enough, even though it did great and everybody loves it.
Word.
Yeah,
RIP Arcane Studios, man. They also made Deathloop, which is one of the illest first-person shooters. It's just, yeah, if you haven't played Deathloop, give that a shot.
That's crazy. Like, you put out a dope game and then you get shit canned like 2 months later and shit. That's just wow. It's like, what happened? Like, there's so many questions. But I'm pretty much sure it's like mad shit going on behind the scenes.
Well, with Xbox, they just got Activision. They just bought that. Before that, they bought Bethesda. I mean, they were barely done kind of like getting Bethesda integrated into Microsoft when they got Activision. So it just seems like the bit off more than they could chew, I guess, in one way. At least it appears that way. Because why would you keep buying up all these studios if you were just going to turn around and close some? It doesn't really make sense. But then again, they have so many. Do they really need that many? Is a whole other conversation, which obviously, in their opinion, is no, I guess. And then another question is, was this an Xbox division call, or was this Microsoft corporate calling this?
This is tinfoil afro time. PlayStation has infiltrated Microsoft, and they're trying to kill the gaming side of Microsoft by closing the studios. That's the hot take.
I don't know about all that, but man, I don't get what they've been up to lately. They do some really good stuff, and then they do some really dumb stuff. It's kind of
that's wild.
And then
that's like you take your team to the playoffs and then you get shit canned at the end.
Yeah. Some Frank Vogel. Hey Frank, good job winning this title. See you later.
Darvin Ham.
Yeah. And then in similar news, just recently we have the debacle with PlayStation, with Helldivers, and then Ghost of Tsushima as well on PC, where if anybody doesn't know, basically they put out Helldivers on PC, consecutive launch for PS5. Around the world launched it, and then a week or two ago they announced that to continue playing the game, you would need to log into a PSN account, which anybody who owns a PlayStation and plays online has one, so no big deal for them. However, this being on PC, a lot of people who don't game on PlayStation bought the game, people in countries where PSN isn't even available. And now what's happened is PlayStation took back the requirement to sign into PSN. However, any of the countries that PSN doesn't exist in, the game is no longer listed, and so you can't play the game in those countries, which was like 180 countries or something like that, which is nuts.
Wow.
So more corporate buffoonery and just shooting yourself in the foot. I don't really care, me personally, because I'm sure you guys are used to this, right? When you get a new game and you go to sign in, usually it's like, oh, sign into your EA account or your Microsoft account or your this account on top of whatever system account you're already in. We're all kind of used to that happening, and it happens on PC too. Ubisoft account, all that. And so, like, it's not so much a big deal to me as that, because people will just get over that and be like, all right, if they want to play the game enough, they'll do it. No big deal.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that all these people in these other countries that just completely lost access to the game is the crazy part to me, because it's like some of those people had already bought the game, and now they had to get refunds and stuff. Like, that's just like, that's lame. Like, you should be able to play.
You guys, they totally got shitted on. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty pretty stupid. And then to continue the theme going in the news section today, we got Square Enix, formerly Square, whatever you want to call them, Squaresoft back in the day. They have announced that they're going multi-platform, which they kind of halfway were in a lot of ways, but all the mainline Final Fantasies recently were PlayStation exclusives. I think it was starting with Remake on PS4, and then Final Fantasy 16, and then Final Fantasy, what's the newest? Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. All those are PlayStation exclusives. And basically, Square Enix didn't make enough money off of these games to justify to keep putting them only on PlayStation platforms. So now what they're going to do is they're going to put them on whatever Nintendo's next system is, anything they can get on the Switch, and then get on Xbox as well, probably PC.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is good, I think, for everybody, because when they were getting those games exclusively on PlayStation was still having to pay them, like, say, $100 million to do that, and or help them make the game in the first place. So they're still going to get the games, and now just more people are going to be able to play. So I think that's a good thing. I'm praying and hoping
they do that with the Spider-Man game. I don't want to have to buy. I don't want to have to buy a PS5 just to play Spider-Man in the Wolverine game.
Sony ain't giving that up.
That'll be coming to PC though, so you can get a PC and play, but it ain't coming to Xbox.
Sony will make a they'll make a Madam Web movie before they do that. You know.
Oh,
Wait, they already did that.
I know. That's the you get it. You get it.
I don't. What? No. But yeah, so it's crazy. So I guess the big theme of all this news is these companies, like, well, with Square Enix, I think for them, I think they just like overestimated what they were going to do coming off the pandemic with the shortages for chips and everything for the PS5s. They probably thought the PS5 was going to sell twice as many as it did. It's still selling great. So I think they just overestimated the reach of Final Fantasy at this time. I feel like there's some diehards that aren't happy with the more action focused slant they put on the game recently, which I personally would like better because I don't like the turn-based stuff. But I do know a lot of people like turn-based stuff. I believe, Doss, you like turn-based stuff, right?
False.
Oh, you're in my camp.
That's why I never got into Final Fantasy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really gotten to Final Fantasy either, but my cousin loved that shit.
Yeah, well, I always like watching people play. It's dope.
Yeah.
Because you can watch all those cutscenes and stuff. But yeah, I never got into it because of the turn-based style of fighting. So the new ones where it's all action-based and like happening is much more up my alley. Like I started playing the remake one. I'll probably finish it at some point. It's a very long game though. But I liked how that one ran with the more action-focused thing where it didn't feel like I was at a pause screen all the time, playing with a menu. It was more like happening in real time. But I guess the overall theme of all this news, though, has kind of been like, what is going on in gaming? What is going on at these companies? Like, why, with Microsoft and Sony, like, why are you doing such stupid things, like, so regularly lately? Right. It's just mind-boggling. Like, with Microsoft,
I can't say for Sony, but the Microsoft, that seems like a money thing. Like they didn't think they were gonna or they thought they would make more money, and they feel like they can't keep these studios open. That's what it seems like to me. It's just downsizing, which sucks, but that's what it looks like from the outside. Sony, I don't know. That's a big fuck up. And for Square Enix, I'm glad more people could play. I want to not have to. I don't even want to switch. I got a PS4, but for people that have multiple consoles, you don't even have to switch HDMI inputs on your TV. You just get everything on one system, which is cool. And Xbox people could enjoy these games that people claim are classics, but I think it's gonna bring a whole new fan base to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Because like, was it because Final Fantasy wasn't on Sega, right? It was just Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah, it went from Nintendo to PlayStation.
Right. Yeah. So think about all the people that got, Xbox that can now play them games, that love them games, that probably still own a Super Nintendo that may still play them games. They're gonna love it. That's gonna boost their sales because a lot of people that used to play those games that's on Xbox that can't play them, and they can play them now. They about to lose their shit.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to run through Final Fantasy VII for the first time.
I would suggest the remake. It's actually good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I think
my cousin, I think he had the Final Fantasy on Super Nintendo. There, he had them all on PlayStation. Yeah, I remember seeing him play them shit religiously back.
Yeah, it's crazy. Those games are like 100-hour affairs, 100-hour plus games. Like,
yeah,
even those old ones. Came on like 3 discs on PS1. Final Fantasy 7 anyway. 7 and 8.
Right. Wasn't like what was the game that had like 2 discs and you couldn't play the second disc till you beat the first one back then. It was a PlayStation game. I forgot what game it was.
Like that.
Yeah, there was a few. I forgot that was a thing. Damn.
Metal Gear Solid.
There was so much space that couldn't fit them on the disc. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was like a double disc. You had to beat the first one and play the second one.
But then Resident Evil 2, it was different characters on the disc. Same game, different character playthroughs. Because remember, one disc was Chris and the other one was Jill, I want to say.
Right.
On PS2. Or PS1.
I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look it up. I can't remember what game that was.
There was a few, all the Final Fantasies, the Resident Evils, which was, except Part 3. Resident Evil 3 was only one disc.
Right.
Nemesis. But the first two were definitely two discs. There was a few games like that. A lot of the RPGs that were longer were like that.
Yeah.
Yo, you remember these? It's hiding on me. Shit. Give me a second. Ah. Is it hiding? I can't find it. You remember the tall box PS1 games cases when they first came out? They looked like a CD jewel case, but they were like just enormous.
The one Mortal Kombat 3 came in back in the day.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 3. I got Gex somewhere here, which is like more of like a cardboard one, but it's big like those. Wipeout. There was a few games that had that. It was crazy though. I remember the big classic, the Sega Saturn games were like that too.
Yep. And the NBA Jam Tournament Edition that played PS1. They came like that.
Yep.
Yep.
And nobody survived. Those things got destroyed so easily.
Hell yeah.
That was just a bad idea.
Yeah, I remember them shit. Yeah. Yep. I think Mortal Kombat 3 had it was like it had the MK3 logo on it. I think it had a picture of Shao Kahn helmet or some shit. It was like red and some shit like that. I think I remember that.
I actually got a Mortal Kombat trilogy for PS1, which has all three of the first three, all in one disc.
I still got that.
That's a good one.
Still got that. Yeah. That's
a good one
right there.
Yeah, it's
that was like
more piece of news. This is a game release coming up. I've been waiting for this for years. It's Hellblade 2, Senua's Sacrifice. This one's called Senua's Senua's Saga. So Senua's Sacrifice was the first one. One of the best looking games graphically I think I've played ever. And I'm gonna say on a console for these, anyone playing on PC, you could up the graphics to make everything look pretty. But this is one of the best looking games on Xbox One. Definitely recommend playing the first one. The whole game seems like it's a cutscene. That's how good it looks.
It does. That looks beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a trip. Like it's you're following. If you don't know the story, you're following this like Viking girl who's trying to go into the afterworld, or what is it?
Valhalla.
Hell. Yeah, not Valhalla. It's like she's trying to get to hell to save her lover, her boyfriend. And she's fighting demons and going through it, but she has like mental issues. You know what I mean? Like she hears voices telling her stuff, and if you play it with gaming headphones, it's a trip. As you're walking through, there's voices encouraging you, be like, yeah, you got this, you're gonna find them. And then other ones that are just like tearing you down, like you're nothing, you're never gonna find them, this is the end for you. But they're all competing in your head, so it's a trip to really like get the immersiveness of having the gaming headset on. So I'm excited for it coming back. It's on Game Pass, so if you could do the pre-download, I did that already. Comes out a week from today, which is the 14th. Comes out on May 21st. Definitely get up.
I'm gonna try that out.
Yeah. It's that's from a studio called Ninja Theory, who they are owned by Microsoft now. But when they made the first one, they were like they did both systems, games for both systems. They were a third party. I don't know if you're aware, but they did what was it? Enslaved: Journey to the West. Do you remember that game? Or it was a launch PS3 title.
They did Heavenly Sword, which was
Heavenly
cool. I'm surprised they didn't make more of those. It was like the girl with the red hair.
Yeah, I always thought they should have. That game was dope.
And they did. Listen, I don't care if you feel a different way, but you remember the Devil May Cry remake where Dante had short hair?
Yeah,
I remember that.
He looked like a punk rocker or something.
Yeah,
I love that game, but they
did that too, right?
Yep, they did that. And listen,
they're-
I'm maybe it's because I'm into graffiti or whatever. It's like typography, like how people put letters on stuff, like in movies, like how letters show up on the screen. Like when it's done well, I enjoy that. And that has one of the illest, like it would say where you need to go in giant letters on the side of a building. Like stuff would just like show up on the bricks, like on the floor. Like it was dope.
Oh, yeah, that's-
Dante from Devil May Cry. He's a Capcom character, correct?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thought so. I think he wasn't he. Didn't they put him in Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
Yep. He was nasty too. And the version they used was from Devil May Cry 3, where he had all his weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was kind of OP in that game.
These games are great.
Somebody stole my goddamn Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Damn, son, damn.
Yeah.
Yo, a copy of those is not cheap these
They had
days.
Deadpool was in there too, right?
Yep, Deadpool's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing game. And the
Yeah, it was
DLC was,
dope.
they added like I think Nova in there, who doesn't get a lot of love.
No, hardly gets any at all.
Yeah. But yeah, man, Ninja Theory is the shit. I love
Yeah.
what they do. And if you didn't like that Devil May Cry fucking remake, you're tripping. That shit was awesome.
That was one of those ones where people wanted to hate it, and then were like, ah.
Yeah, it was maligned. I think you could look up, if you Google it, you'll find tons of articles, YouTube videos like this is what they do to Dante, but it was still dope.
Yeah. It was like emo Dante, I think was like the whole thing people were saying.
Right.
I liked it. Emo Dante was dope, man. But yeah, man.
Very serious though. And you can get all those on Nintendo Switch for like $8 each or something crazy like that. So
Word. Nice.
Oh,
that system, man.
bad.
The library on that system, they have everything on that. Like short of Xbox and PlayStation, first party titles, they pretty much got everything.
Word.
Should be interesting when the Switch 2 comes out or whatever they're gonna call it, to see like hopefully the whole library carries over, which it seems like it will. But I honestly can't wait to see what they do with that. It's gonna be cool to like see how much power they can fit in the in the palm of your hand, and also how Nintendo is so adept at taking underpowered hardware and just getting the most out of it and making good games first and foremost. So I'm like really excited to see what they do in this next generation.
Word. The Switch got it, man. I was talking about my newfound over the last few years love for Kirby, and me and my son just beat Kirby in the Forgotten Land recently, and that's the newest like mainline Kirby. There's another one where you're like rolling around eating cake and shit, but this if you're looking for Kirby to fight and get powers, Kirby in the Forgotten Land is super dope. And
that's dope. I definitely wouldn't mind getting that getting the Switch and then buying like Super Mario 3 to play. The throwback flavor.
Oh yeah, all that.
All you got to do is subscribe to their Nintendo Online. It's $20 for a year, and you get Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, and Game Boy games. And there's like 50 games in each library just for free to play whenever. And that has Mario 1, 2, 3, Dr. Mario, Mario Kart, Super Mario World, like has all that on it.
That's
definitely
crazy.
good value.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's why Nintendo is still around, man. They do make good games though.
If they do it, it's quality. I know they don't make a lot of adult-oriented games, but for what they do, even if you are an adult, you can see the quality in the time they put into a lot of it. Just well-made games.
Yeah, you just can't talk to your friends about it. They'd rather hear about the zombies slicing in half than
I'm always here to talk about Zelda. If anybody wants to talk about Zelda, all right? I won't judge. We ain't talking about Pokemon. Sorry. I don't really know much about Pokemon other than Detective Pikachu is a funny movie. That's pretty much all I got on Pokemon.
Yeah, and
so,
just to throw in. I always got to come with the Dead Cells news because Dead Cells is my joint, and I can't stop playing it. They just Motion Twin, which is the studio that created it, they just put up a artwork today for an animated series that they're making based on Dead Cells, which Barbaric, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Dead Cells, but it's basically like a Castlevania type of game where you're running around.
Dope.
You get tons of different weapons that you can upgrade your character, and yeah, as you get killed, you start over at the beginning. But they dropped the trailer.
No, this is the first one.
Oh, word. Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, they're coming out with a series based on the lore, which is awesome, and which is dope because they just recently announced they're not coming out with any more DLC. They've been supporting the game for years with new stuff. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, that's dope. Because I got the Castlevania joint on the Xbox. With all the Castlevania games.
Oh yeah, I got that on my Switch.
Yeah, they have a Castlevania. The last DLC was a Castlevania DLC. So they got you have to fight against Dracula. Alucard's in there. You have different Castlevania skins. It's really dope. So you get to go into the castle, as part of their last DLC.
Yeah. Yeah, that game's dope. I actually downloaded it after you mentioned it because it was one of the free Netflix games. So I was like, oh, word, let me download that since it's free. And that's the straight like Castlevania vibes all day. It's dope.
Word. Yeah, this is the one, one of the few games I like. I don't mind paying the extra for the DLCs because they're so good. And they're cheap. It's like every time they drop one, it's like $10, $5.
That's not bad at all. And that's the thing too, when you get like that's the kind of DLC I want, like stuff where I want to get it. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, they're giving me more of something in the game I really liked. And it doesn't feel like it's being held back from me. It's an extra on top. That's a fine line sometimes they don't get right. Or just blatantly get wrong.
All the time. Especially with the games we play most of the time. Yeah.
Now, Barbaric, let's ask you a couple questions real quick before we get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Favorite game of all time?
Mortal Kombat.
Which one?
Which one? I'm gonna go with 2.
2, okay. And who's your go-to character?
Scorpion.
Okay. That's fire. That was a big one too. I was like 13, 14 when that came out. That was like prime arcade time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I was, what was that, 9-3? I was 9 when Mortal Kombat 2 came out.
Actually, I lied. I was like 13, but still. That game was dope because it was like you had that Street Fighter 2, and then like Killer Instinct was like the big one too at the arcade. Those are like the 3 fighting games. And then like you had Tekken once in a while, which was my joint, but that was a little later on.
These kids nowadays don't know the pressure of waiting in line at the arcade. They don't understand.
No, throwing that quarter up on there.
Yeah, yep.
Just waiting. Oh yeah, those were the days. My favorite was I wish I could still have this in my house. I may have even mentioned this before, but I want in my crib a Daytona USA 4-player like cabinet setup.
Oh man.
I would sit there and just race all night and drink beers, and accomplish absolutely nothing, but it'd be great. I'd love every second of it. Like I'm drinking and driving, bitches.
Yeah.
What about Cruising USA? Remember like Cruising USA?
Hell yeah. Because it was the first one to have the clutch. You were like, oh shit, it's got the third pedal. What?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Word.
Those were the days. Word. Well, before we get on out of here, Barbaric, why don't you go ahead and plug whatever you got going on? I'll let DOS do the same thing, and then I'll get us out of here.
All right. For those who don't know, I'm Barbaric, the Foul Mouth Jedi. I'm a part of the Grenade Rap Clique. Know what I'm saying? As of right now, what we got going on, we do me and my partner in crime, Alvarez Masterminded. We working on our solo joints right now. We also got hard copies of our album, Grenade Rap 2. You know, you can go to Bandcamp to find those. Grenade Rap Records, under Bandcamp, and it should pop up. Trying to link, I'm saying, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram, Barbaric84. Now I'm saying, Barbaric Mike on Facebook. Now I'm saying, holla at me. You know, we do features. We in the lab all the time, and I'm reading a lot of comic books.
Word.
Catching up.
Good man, good man. I actually just grabbed the last Ronin, the Lost Years today, so I'm gonna be reading that. That's actually my next comic I'm reading. What about you, DOS?
I'm waiting for a series finale or season finale of X-Men 97.
Yo, oh
Yo.
my god!
And I'm gonna say, you know, I know we could be here forever chopping it up about that, but I'm gonna say the illest scene in the whole show is showing Nightcrawler's Banff. That's the hands down. That's the best scene. And besides that, not June. Hold on, let me make sure I get the correct date. It's July 27th. I'm gonna be doing a show opening up for MC Chris, which if you don't know MC Chris, he's one of like the first generation of nerdcore rappers. He did a lot of voiceover work in Aqua Teen Hunger Force, like you know, he was like a talking spider and a cow and all types of stuff. But you know,
that was my shit.
Yeah. So I'm bringing out all my records that I have about comic books and video games. I'm be playing them there. So that's gonna be at the Middle East in Boston, July 27th.
That's dope.
Yeah, and follow me at 508DOS on Instagram.
Word. I appreciate you coming through, Barbaric. As always, I'm Sha-Elemental. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Anytime. And, you know, we'll be back again soon with another episode. And real quick, before I get on out of here, let me just plug some shit for myself. I just dropped the Dastardly Grin 2 album recently. Get that streaming everywhere. You can purchase it on Bandcamp. I'm still bumping that pushing that international Dastardly with Bullfight. The album's fire. And the EP we did, me and Speak the Rebel, we actually just dropped that as well.
Yo, so, Shaw, what crew is Bullfight from?
He is not in a crew. He's just a producer from Germany.
Word.
Although he is like
in a Dastardly crew. You know what I'm saying?
No. We're looking at Dick Dastardly. But yeah, man, just check out all that music. Check out the Bandcamp. We got everything up on there. Check out what these guys got going on. As always, Masters of the GamerVerse, we're going to be here talking our gaming-ish, you know, getting off all our stupid ideas and thoughts and whatnot, whatever you want to say. And you know what I mean? So till next time, peace, y'all.
Peace.
Low.